You don't have to spend a fortune to fill your home with gorgeous plants. Today I'm showing you how water propagation isn't just plant care, it's home decor magic. It really is magical. It's something I've been doing in my home for the last couple of years. Like when I took a bunch of cuttings of my philodendron giganteum with those mammoth leaves and put them all over my kitchen wall. That was one of my favorites. Also did up my work from home office and other areas around my home. It's so simple to do and it'll save you a lot of money. I'll be honest with you, my urban jungle would not be this way if it wasn't for those propagated decorations. So here are three things that we are going to go over today. Three things that will really help make your place pop. We're going to go over the popular plants and how fast you can get them to root. Number two, I'm going to give you some tips on how to get that rooting process to happen a lot faster, easier than you might think. And then number three, we're going to go over different decor options for you and for your home. So let's get started with the rooting time of those popular plants. So when we take a look at the popular plants, pothos clearly takes the lead with 1 to 3 weeks. By the way, pothos during the summertime can grow up to a foot each month, which is kind of nuts, you know? All right, then monstera and philodendron are tied with about 2 to 4 weeks, and the slower grower is the snake plant, which is about a month to 2 months, but also a very easy plant to propagate. And it's actually going to be one of the ones that we're going to use in our propagation styling. So I think I have a snake plant over there. Well, probably like a million of them everywhere. But let's go take a look. And snake plants are great because they're really easy to propagate. All you have to do is just cut at the base layer as best as you can, like so. Snip it, and then just put it in water. It's that simple. Now, you do have the option of letting it callus over. I tend to not wait, and I've had really good results. Results like this one here, which I think has been propagating now for probably, I don't know, 6 months to 12 months? I lose track. Let me know in the comments, by the way, if you're the sort of people who start to propagate plants and then just forget about them. And then all of a sudden, years have gone by and then boom, bam, here we go. But one of the things that I really love about propagating with plants and styling with them is using unique little jars, little glass jars that you can find at like little rummage sales, thrift shops. I found this one at Michael's, I think for like $2, and it's really nice. It's got like a little old dairy thing on it, and then we just put it up here as a decoration. Really simple to do and really fun to do. I have to say, there is another really cool way to propagate and style at the same time, and it's all about using vertical space. And the vertical space I want to focus in on is up here in my main plant display. You probably noticed from a couple episodes back, well, at least a couple months back, when I put up this trellis and I had some good intentions with it, but really didn't get too far with it. So it's just kind of been sitting up there, lonely, with really nothing happening on it. But this is a perfect case example where we could use propagated cuttings to really bring life to it. Unfortunately, Treleaf, who is sponsoring part of this episode, sent me 3 of their Clara mini vase propagation stations for the wall, and these are going to be fantastic for this trellis because, and I didn't tell you guys this in that one episode, but this is actually just held up by one simple hook. So having these items, these propagation stations, the fact that they're so lightweight is going to be perfect. And this comes into play because I want to use the snake plant cuttings and also some of my Hartley philodendron plant cuttings up there because up in the hallway, they have been growing so long as you head up the stairs that I just haven't had a chance to get to them yet, and this is a perfect opportunity to not only use these little wall propagation stations from Treleaf, but also another item that they sent me, and I'll show you that in a second. But first, let's go grab those cuttings. Okay, here is the one I want to go with. I want to go with a lemon lime Hartley philodendron cutting because they'll just really pop on that wall. So what we're going to do is actually come here closer. because what I want to do is show you where you would cut, and what you're looking for is a node. So a node is right below or above, actually, one of where the leaves come out. And you'll notice it on a heartleaf philodendron or a monstera for that matter, a pothos, that there is a little bump that's coming out where more often than not you can see what is an aerial root that is popping out. So you would want to cut about quarter of an inch above that. And that's what we're going to do. I want a longer one though. So let's go with this right here. Boom. So we have one cutting. And I do want to take a second one because honestly, I could probably take like 20 from this one. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll go with this one. This one is, wow, that one is a thick one. Jeez Louise. Okay, so we'll go with that one. All right, so we have our cuttings and we have our propagation station here from Treleaf. And again, because it is so lightweight, how they designed it, it's going to make this a super simple process. And one of the things that I want to do, since we're using vertical space, is obviously go up, you know? So that's what I'm going to do here. By the way, if you find that you like any of these products, you can use the discount code Plants with Kevin for 10% off your purchase. Also, I'm going to do a little $50 in store credit giveaway to one lucky viewer. Details are in the bio. In the meantime, before you check the video description and all, check this out. Between then and now, I hustled and bustled and just started piecing things together. And to be honest with you guys, I had absolutely no clue what I was going to design. I just looked at those plants and I was like, well, those would look pretty, right? And so I just started using my mind and putting together colors that I thought would look fantastic. I also decided to add in a couple other things like orchids. So not only were those vessels, those water propagation vessels from Treleaf, just so perfect for that trellis of mine, but I also had these other little containers that sort of matched with those Treleaf vessels. So I decided to put them in there and hang up some orchids for some extra splash of color. Not only orchids, but I took a cutting of a Monstera deliciosa that I have and I put it at the top, kind of like a holiday ornament, I guess, on a Christmas tree. I don't know. I was just going with something. But this is what it ended up turning out to be. Uh, this being over my shoulder right there. Take a look at it because I absolutely love the way that it looks. Those water propagation vessels make such a big difference. And what's nice is that not only do they just stand out and pop with the rest of my plant display, but because they are water propagation vessels, the fact is that I won't really have to care for them as much as I do with my other regular plants that are in soil. I just have to make sure that the water is filled so they'll continue to root. So I also told you guys I would share some tips with you on how to get your plants to root faster, your cuttings. So here's the things you need to do. One, you need to have them in bright indirect light. You do not want them in direct light at all because that would just burn up the roots that are trying to develop. One of my neighbors, I was walking by their home the other day, and I noticed they have cuttings of a fiddle leaf fig right in the direct sunlight. I'm not going to say anything, but it's probably not the best idea. Also, what you want to do is, and this one's kind of iffy, they say change out the water every couple of days. But the fact of the matter is, there really is no difference in whether or not you change out the water or just keep it the same. I can be rather lazy. Well, I guess not lazy, but forget to change out the water. And so a lot of my plants that are propagating in water have been in the same water for months. The only time I will really change it out is if it starts to smell or look gross. So there is really no difference, okay? The fact of the matter is, it's really just kind of up to you. Or if you notice that the roots that are developing start to develop like a fungal issue because of being in the same water for too long, that's when you'd want to change it out. There are some other tips, obviously, that you can see on the side of the screen here. One thing that is very interesting too is that it doesn't matter if you have the plant cutting rooting up in a clear container, like a clear glass vessel, or if it's opaque. The fact of the matter is that there's benefits, of course. Like if it is see-through, you can keep an eye on the roots and see how they are developing. But others suggest, researchers, scientists say that the opaqueness, not having that transparent surrounding, actually mimics the soil that the plant will be in, and so roots develop faster, which is an added bonus, you know. So those are some quick tips on how to get your plant to root faster. Oh, the temperature thing too, really big deal. You want to have it between like 65 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. You don't want it to be cold, that's for sure, because that wouldn't be great. Or too hot, because then it would burn up. Hey, you know, I mentioned to you guys that there was a second item that I had from Treleaf that I was going to feature, and I still am. And it's these really cool things called Monstrella wall-mounted plant support. These really super cute little wooden monstera-looking leaves that will have your cuttings or your vining plant go through it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to feature that in a YouTube short exclusive. Because not only is that new trellis with those really cool vessels from Treleaf and the cuttings gonna make that place pop. But I also have this really insanely long vining philodendron splendid just literally sitting in my in my dining room on the table because my husband and I had to take it down from its pole because the pole was knocking over and stuff. And I'm not sure what to do with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of the long vines, and they are about 12 to 15 feet long, and I'm going to cut them, and I'm going to put them in water propagation vessels, and I'm going to have them go up alongside the trellis with those water propagation vessels, and I'm going to propagate them and kind of have that as a little propagation wall. And I'm going to use these babies to mount them and have the vines just climb up along the side. So make sure to check that out in my YouTube shorts. Hey, I want to thank you guys so much for watching another one of my plenty videos. And if you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification ding dong bell for more fun and interesting plenty content just like this. By the way, if you love this sort of design type aspect, especially when it comes to our beautiful plants, you want to see how I created this urban jungle in downtown Denver? Click on this video up in the corner because I do a little comprehensive breakdown for you guys on how I put it all together. And I'll tell you this, it's not as expensive, if I could talk, as expensive as you might think. Hey, thanks again, and I will see you guys in the next video.